I thank the President. I rise today to discuss for a second the 5th anniversary of the tragic murder of a Georgia citizen who volunteered for the Peace Corps, traveled to West Africa, to the nation of Benin, and lost her life. She lost her life because she did the right thing. She reported the abuse of children in the village school where she taught. The reason I have recently returned from Benin is I have taken this case on as a personal passion, to see to it that justice and some closure comes to the family of this wonderful young lady. Her name was Kate Puzey. Kate Puzey was top of her class, valedictorian, outstanding student, wanted to go out and save the world and help the world and fulfill the dream that John Kennedy professed in 1961 when he created the Peace Corps. And she went to Benin, and she found that one of the village natives in the village where she was teaching was abusing children that were in the school where she was teaching. And she, in this very remote area, she took the only communication mechanism that she had to report the violation of these children to the appropriate authorities in Cotonou, Benin. Unfortunately, because those communications were not secure, a relative of the person she reported notified the person that she had reported that he had been reported. That night, in her hut in the nation of Benin, her throat was cut and she died. She died because she did the right thing. This Senate, 2 years ago, joined me and Senator Boxer in passing the Peace Corps Protection Act, which is now named the Kate Puzey Peace Corps Volunteer Protection Act, to provide a mechanism and way where Peace Corps volunteers can report violations of themselves, violations or trauma of them of a sexual nature, gender-based violence, or any other type of violence against themselves or in any other place where they might be as a servant in the Peace Corps. Because of that, now there are ombudsmen and there are ways and mechanisms where our Peace Corps volunteers can safely report violations and damage and have the protection not only of the United States, but of the nation where they serve. But back to the point of my trip to Benin, which just took place in this last week. It was my second visit to go back, because what I want to see is a continuation of the investigation of the death of this young lady until there's a trial and closure available for her family. Just as any of us would want, were we the parent of a young lady who lost their life on behalf of the United States of America. And I rise to pay first particular tribute to Secretary Kerry, United Nations Samantha Power, to the State Department of the United States of America, to Michael Rayner, the ambassador in Benin, to Todd Watley, the Deputy Chief of Mission, to Kevin Armstrong, the USAID Director, to Billy Alfonso, to Marilyn Gayton, and to Robert Friedman, Bob Friedman, the Peace Corps representative in Benin, all of whom have made as their top priority the investigation and the fulfillment of bringing this case to a reality. 3 years ago, when I went to Benin for the first time, it was to encourage President Yayi of Benin to allow the United States to come in and assist in the investigation and the prosecution of the case. A rare thing to happen in a French colony which is governed by French law. To our credit and to President Yayi's credit, he allowed the United States and Jennifer Dent, the FBI agent in charge in Lagos, to come into Benin and begin assisting the investigation. I went back last week during our break for the specific reason because it looked like the case was dying. It looked like the intensity of the interest was dying, and it was so important to me and for the family in my home state of Georgia to see to it that in some way we could finally bring closure, either rightfully or wrongfully, to the terrible things that happened. And I'm happy to report that the visit was successful. President Yayi spent over 4 hours with the family members and with myself. He committed the judiciary and the investigatory body in the nation of Benin to accept the assistance of the United States FBI and our technology. And during the course of our visit, he removed and separated the prisoners that had been requested by the FBI to see to it that those being held, thought to be guilty in this case, actually could no longer communicate in the prisons where they were held. Now, I don't know what the ultimate result will be, and I want justice to be done. I want the right person to be persecuted and prosecuted and the right person to pay the price. But I want closure to come for this family, and I want to thank the American Embassy, the State Department, and Samantha Power at the UN for the intensity they have put into this investigation. The United States FBI, and in particular Victor Lloyd, Special Agent in Lagos, Nigeria, for all the time he has dedicated. And we seem to be at a point where everything is coming together towards a prosecution and ultimately a trial. And when that happens, it'll happen primarily because the United States government, the people of the United States of America, both President Bush and President Obama, and all in this Congress have dedicated themselves to the interest of one child's life, Kate Puzey. As long as the people of this country know we as a body will come behind any injured American, any loss of life, anybody who's deployed themselves on behalf of this country and in this service of peace and prosperity, They deserve to know the United States Congress and this United States Senate are standing ready to help. But I'm here to pay tribute to the Embassy of Benin, to the FBI Special Agent Victor Lloyd, and to all those who have helped and assist to see to it the prosecution of the case in the murder of Kate Puzey comes to a final conclusion. I'm grateful for their service to America, grateful for what they've done for the Puzey family in Georgia, and I'm grateful that I live in a country that protects and loves those who've represented our interests wherever it may be, on whatever shore it may be, in whatever country it may be. May God bless America, and may God bless the Peace Corps, and may God bless the family of Kate Puzey. And I yield back.